like a dreamer. Fly all over the world. Open yourself so the world can see. You're a beautiful pearl. Live your day like you mean it. And don't forget who you are. You're free to go anywhere. There's no distance too far. And I just can't get enough of your energy. I just can't get enough. You're the spark shining in the dark. Oh, 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 love.
Welcome to It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville. I am so happy you're here. It Is What It is a show all about real people, real life stories. We all have a story. You have a story, I have a story. Everybody who comes on the show has an amazing story, and wait till you hear the story today. So let's get to mitzvah time. Mitzvah, what's a mitzvah? It's a good deed. So I encourage everybody to do special mitzvahs, to do something nice for somebody every day. Now, I started a new movement. It's called the F.U.C.K. It's females uplifting with compassion and kindness. And please follow, join the group. It's on Facebook right now, and it's a very uplifting group. I've heard so much feedback already, how people are really touched by the support that they're getting, the kindness they're getting. And it's all about, I mean, it's for men and women. We opened it up to men and women, and it's about uplifting others. And so join it. I love it because people are doing, they're doing great things for each other in that group. We're going to be doing some meet and greets. We're going to have conventions. We're going to have like lots of fun stuff centered around F.U.C.K. It's after my favorite word in the entire dictionary. So if you comment, like, and share, which you should, make sure you comment, like, and share. And you know how to do that, right? Hit the little, the little heart or the little thumbs up, make a little comment and share the show, and you get a copy of my book, possibly. You might win it. And this is my journey with breast cancer. It's called It Is What It Fucking Is. So you're going to love the book. It's definitely a lot of fun. When we come back, you're going to meet this amazing, amazing young man, 27-year-old man, Robert Stover. Robert survived. Thank God he failed in this attempt, but he survived a gunshot to his chin. It was a shotgun, and to his chin. He tried to commit suicide, and thank God it didn't work. He's here to tell a story. He'll be on as soon as we come back after this commercial break. So don't go far. We'll see you in a minute.
Silvermine at Home, a Connecticut-based non-medical home care agency servicing Connecticut and parts of New York. Silvermine caters to their clients' needs while offering peace of mind to their families so their loved one can age in place and live their best life possible. Call today to see how they can make a difference in you or your loved one's life. Our family caring for yours. Visit silvermineathome.com or call 203-228-5007.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville. And we have Robert Stover here today with us. Hey,
Hello.
Robert. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How you doing?
Oh, I love amazing. I love it. I'm doing amazing too. It's like one of my favorite words. I'm doing awesome. So thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a long time coming.
You know what? It was. We've been trying to coordinate our schedules and we finally did it.
That's what happens when you're a busy woman,
And a busy man. You got quite a busy
exactly,
life yourself.
right? You'd think I'd have Saturdays free. I don't, unfortunately.
No, that's okay. It means you're living your life. That's a good
Exactly.
thing.
I'm
I'm just
putting things in motion.
I'm honored though that you made the time to share your story. Thank you.
I'm honored you asked me to be up here. It's truly a privilege.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob. You and I have become friends since we connected on I think you were on Bill Stax's show, right?
Yep. It was when he was doing like the open mic call and you hopped on and he was like, "You should come on my show." I was like, "I would love to."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, I love your story. I mean, your story is incredible and we're going to get right into it. So, what happened? Let's go back in time. Where are you from?
I am from Chesapeake, Virginia, which, if you don't know what Chesapeake is, it's Norfolk, Virginia. It's the world's largest Navy station area, so military brat. But unfortunately, I lived in Virginia all my life until I moved to Texas more recently. So originally, I am from Chesapeake, Virginia, currently residing in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, nice. What do you prefer?
Since I have not lived in Texas summer, right now Texas, because winter is like springtime in Virginia. So I'll take that any day.
Yeah.
But if we do this again in summer, I'll probably say Virginia because I'm not prepared for 110 degrees every day.
Oh, you know what? Let me tell you something. Right now, it's below zero here. It's freezing cold. So you got the fur and fake fur, the fur, and it's frigid. You freeze. You're getting like what do you call it? Frostbite. Just walking to your car. It's terrible. So take the 100+ degree weather.
Right? I'm
Yeah.
surprised you don't have like an island vacation home. For the winter, you just go on vacation over there and do the shows over
Who's
there.
gonna buy it for me, Rob? You gonna buy it for
You
me?
got Bobby. What you mean?
My producer. No, we he wants one too.
See? You get one on opposite ends of the island. You split it in half.
I love it. I love it. So what happened? How old are you now?
I am currently 27. When I was 20, I took a 12-gauge shotgun to the chin and I shot myself trying to attempt to kill myself. Obviously, God willing, I failed and I'm still here in a living flesh.
Thank God. Thank God.
Exactly.
It wasn't your
Literally. At all.
time. No.
And that
I mean,
I learned that the hard way that day was when it's your time, it's your time. That's not your choice. That's in God's hands.
yes, yes. So what led you to that horrible time of your life where you thought that the only way out was to kill yourself?
So it was a series of events for about I'd say about 7 to 8 years. So when I was 12, around 11, 12 years old, my parents got divorced and there were a lot of false accusations between like what really happened with it.
Right.
And it really took a toll on me. So my family which like split. And since I was really big on like family and I still am, it was detrimental to me because I felt like my whole life fell apart then. And as a 12-year-old, now granted at the time I didn't understand this, I couldn't fix it, but I wanted to try and fix it as best as I could, but whatever I did obviously didn't work. But now growing up and getting older, I understand when two people aren't happy, they're gonna go separate ways. There's nothing I or anyone else can do about that.
Right.
So that was probably the biggest thing with it. And then with my family splitting, I was acting out like my behavior was acting out because I was looking for like, I don't want to say attention, but like trying to bring them together per se to make a family or like love come back. And then my grades started slipping, so I couldn't play baseball, which was like literally my piece. With everything going on, when I played baseball, I stepped on that field, all my problems and stress just went away. But since my grades slipped in high school, I was no longer allowed to play baseball. So that
Wow.
happened. And then just literally any and everything I did didn't go my way or wasn't up to my standards. So I was starting to feel and believe that I was a failure and I couldn't amount to anything. So I started leaning into marijuana and alcohol as coping skills. But I didn't know at this time that I wasn't using weed and alcohol as like a good thing. I was using it as like an escape to run away from my problems. But when I sobered up, all my problems would come right back, plus 10 times worse because of how I guess the effects of alcohol makes it worse per se. I don't know the science behind that.
Right.
but it
Right.
just things got worse. And then my stepbrother, who on my dad's new wife had a son, he hunts, and he has a 12 gauge shotgun in his room that one day a few weeks prior, I noticed he kept it in his room because at the time it was hunting season.
Mhm.
So as a minor, you can't carry a gun around in your car. So he left it in his room for safekeeping, blah blah blah. I was like, oh look, there's my escape. So December 21st, 2015 comes around. I was like, perf, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna go to Walmart, get some shotgun shells, and then I'm gonna come back to the house and I'm gonna use this to solve all my problems.
Wow. That was December, what day?
21st, 2015. It was on a Monday, 4 days before Christmas.
Wow. Wow. So let me ask you before we get to what actually, the day it happened, did you seek help? Did you ever say, I'm hurting? Did your family notice you were hurting?
I don't know if they noticed truly if I was hurting. Maybe they did. They just never said anything. But in October of 2015, I brought up to my dad's new wife, who happened to be a social worker. I literally broke down to her. I was like, hey, I need help. I'm literally thinking of suicide. So, because for me, as a social worker, I think she'd have a great solution or like avenues to help get me the help I needed.
Right.
So she sent me to a CSB, which I have no idea what that stands for. And then they sent me to a crisis stabilization unit right around my town, which I went there for 5 days. As soon as I got there, they put me on an antidepressant, Prozac, and I had to take that for the 5 days, and I wasn't allowed to leave until I felt better. So it was a very odd 5 days, but on the final day, I was like, okay, I feel better. Let's get me out of here.
Right.
I
Did
don't,
you really feel better?
no, not at all. I just wanted to get out of that place.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but I knew it wasn't helping. I
Okay.
just felt like, oh, they're just gonna throw me pills until I actually feel better.
Right.
But the thing with that, the medicine they gave me, it didn't make anything feel better. It honestly made things worse because it clouded my thoughts, it clouded my judgments, and I couldn't think clearly. So I was like, okay, this is not making anything better. It's just making things worse. So I had cut that cold turkey. It's like a week after I got home, I stopped taking it.
Okay. Wow. So you reached out for help. You knew that you had suicidal thoughts, tendencies. You were depressed, and you owned it. You said, "Hey, help me." You went to somebody who you thought really could help you. I mean, I
Exactly.
admire you for seeking help.
Well, it took that because if I wasn't gonna get that help that day, I would have tried it that day. Well, I wouldn't say that day, but I would have tried it right around that time frame. It wouldn't have lasted 2 more months.
Yeah, yeah. So then, what happened? So you left that place after 5 days.
hmm So then I went back to normal life.
Okay.
My parents thought I was still taking the medicine, which obviously I wasn't. And then I was going back to work, doing normal whatever I was doing, but I was still smoking weed and I was still drinking, but I was doing it more heavily now.
Okay.
So I would smoke every day, essentially almost all day, every day. And then I would drink whenever I got the chance to have alcohol in my hand. Because at the time, I wasn't old enough to actually get alcohol on my own. I'd have to get friends to supply it for me, or I'd go to like some parties or a kickback that had alcohol. I was like, oh, perf, here it is.
Yeah. How old were
But
you then?
at the time, I was 20.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I turned 21 when I was still recovering. So yeah, I was 20 at the time.
Okay. Wow. Young.
Yeah, but I had been feeling suicidal since I was 16 because I remember very vividly my junior year in high school. I would go to my friend Tony's house. I'd sneak out at night. I'd walk down to his house because he lived like right down the street. So I'd walk to his house and I'd talk to him. And that night we'd sit in the back of his Chevy Blazer, and I told him, "Hey Tony, I hope I don't wake up tomorrow, or I hope I get in a gunfight when we get to go to this drug deal and I die, or I hope I get cancer and die. No offense, sorry." I
No,
just felt
don't
that. I just felt that at the
apologize.
time.
Don't
And then
apologize. I get it.
I'd made comments like that.
Yeah.
But as a 16, 17-year-old, because he was 17, what is a 17-year-old going to do for you? I'm grateful he listened to me and he didn't really like tell me I was dumb for feeling that way. He honestly just let me vent and he didn't really say much after. Because honestly, I didn't need solutions at the time. I just needed to vent and get it out of me.
Yeah. And is it because of the divorce? I mean, it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
How divorce really wreaks havoc on children, can wreak havoc on children, depending on how it's handled and
Oh
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so I've always got the comment of, oh, you should be happy because now you get double holidays. You get 2 Christmases, 2 Thanksgivings, 2 birthday celebrations, 2 of everything. But to me, that made it worse because now I'm splitting up my holidays of being time spent together with, okay, now I got to leave at 12 Christmas morning to go do it with my mom, go do it with my dad.
Yeah.
Or for Thanksgiving, I got to do one for 3 hours with my dad and then 3 hours with my mom. And it got to a point where I started using work as an excuse to just not go to either. Like, I don't want to deal with any of it. I'm just going to use work as, oh, I got to work. I'm not coming over. Oh, well.
Right. And the animosity, I'm sure there was, because listen, I went through a bitter divorce and it's still not pleasant. I mean, we're going on 11 years, I think. And it's still bitter, so, and I feel terrible. My kids went through a lot, having to be in the middle of everything. I'm not perfect. And a lot of families that go through that same, it's, so I understand that. Yeah. You didn't want to be in the middle of all of that and you just
Exactly.
wanted your family back together.
Yep. But the weirdest thing was, I can't say I hate my stepmother, but there's some like you said, animosity between us. Because every time I would go to my dad's house for the holidays, a few times I would go, the happiest person to see me was her sister, which to me made no sense.
Right.
Like, I didn't really have a relationship with her sister, but when we were there together, it was always fun. And that was my favorite person to see when I went to my dad's side for holidays.
Right. So your step aunt.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
I was thinking about that one.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So what were you doing for work? What was your job?
I was doing security.
Okay.
And at the time, I was also in the Navy Reserves, but most of the time, holidays didn't fall on the weekends. But if they did, I would use drill. Oh, I got drill. Can't come over. Oh, well.
Right, right. So you're a veteran.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I spent 6 years in the service until they discharged me because of everything that happened.
Thank you for your service, Rob.
Yes, ma'am. It was an honor.
I mean, you're just a hero in general. I mean, and you're such a survivor. Like, unbelievable. So you went through some really, really tough times at a young age, and you just had troubles coping with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess I don't want to use this excuse, but as a young age, in school, we're not taught about mental illnesses. So when I was going through whatever I was going through, the depressions, the anxieties, all the other stuff, I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to reach out to it. So my coping skill was, I'm young, I can get weed, let's smoke some weed. Or I'm young, there's alcohol available, let's drink alcohol.
Yeah.
And when I would get high or drunk, I didn't have those negative thoughts of that depressing feeling. So, I feel so much better, let's just keep using this.
Yeah. So it was an escape. So you escaped your issues, your problems by drinking or smoking, and yet you didn't deal with them. And so, listen,
Exactly.
when we don't tackle our problems, they just seem to get bigger and bigger, and we don't really, we can't really control them. And I guess that's kind of like what you did. And until it got to a point where, it wasn't working anymore.
Exactly. I tried sweeping them under the rug for so long until the rug wasn't big enough to hold under them. Or I bottled them up so much, and then the bottle cap just burst, and then my face went burst.
Yeah. All right. Don't tell anybody anymore yet. We're gonna come right back after this commercial break. So don't go anywhere. More from Rob when we come right back.
Do you or a loved one need the care of a nursing home? A vibrant community to call home with our healthcare professionals available 24/7? Candlewood Valley Health and Rehabilitation, located in New Milford, Connecticut, has been offering award-winning care for over 40 years. Whether you are rehabilitating from a cardiac procedure or hip replacement, or seeking a place for your loved one to live where he or she can receive top-notch health care, our team is at the ready. We also accept veteran benefits and offer a special secure memory care unit for residents with Alzheimer's or cognitive-related conditions. Call us at 860-355-0971. Candlewood Valley Health and Rehabilitation, a place to heal and thrive. Ballas Associates, sales, service, and support for all your computer and PC networking needs. Whether it's wired or wireless, upgrades or repairs, backup or disaster recovery, we can provide the solutions to all your PC needs. No need to get frustrated. You know a guy. Just call Ballas Associates at 203-792-2300. That's 203-792-2300. Or visit them online at ballasassociates.com.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville, and we have Rob Stover here today. So Rob, welcome back.
Hi, glad to be back.
So Rob, I would love for you to walk us through what happened that horrible, fateful day that changed the course of your life.
So December 21st rolls around. It happened to be 2 days after I spent Christmas with my dad's side of the family, which was honestly the half of the final straw of, okay, I'm done here. I'm not doing this no more. So I wake up Monday morning. I already have the plan of I'm killing myself today. So I woke up happy. I knew all my problems would go away. I wouldn't feel sad. I wouldn't be depressed. I wouldn't be anxious, et cetera, et cetera. So I woke up. I showered.
That's interesting. You say you woke up happy, relieved that you had a solution.
Exactly, because I had been feeling so depressed and so like terrible for so long that I finally had a bright moment, or I had a light at the end of the tunnel, almost literally, that all this pain would go away.
Almost literally is right.
Almost.
I like your sense of humor, though.
When you go through the things we go through, you just gotta laugh at it.
You know what? You have to find humor. You're right. You're right. I mean, not that it's funny. It's not funny, but you have to find humor in every situation. I agree.
Exactly.
So you woke up feeling relieved that you had a solution. Why that day?
I couldn't go on any longer. I couldn't fake like I wanted to be here, or fake like I was feeling good or I was happy all the time. So I was literally drained. I had nothing left to give, and all my hope was finally just depleted.
Right. Right. Wow. So you woke up and you said, "Wow, this is the day."
Mm-hmm. And then I took a shower because I wanted to be clean when I died. And then once I got out of the shower, I went to Walmart, which was right down the street, to get some shotgun shells. And the weirdest thing was the lady who worked behind the shotgun shells, I'm pretty sure I went to high school with her, it was really weird how it all came together. But I asked for the shotgun shells. She didn't think anything of it. She checked my ID. I got shotgun shells. I went back home. On my way back home, when I was parking my car, I noticed there were city workers in front of my house working on like the pipes they were doing something in front of my house. I'm assuming pipes, gas lines, whatever. I went in the house. I sent out my goodbye text to Tony, Alina, Todd, Marcus, Megan, and Morgan. That's all I sent goodbye messages to. I didn't really say like goodbye, I'm killing myself. It was more of my last time of saying, hey, I love you. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for being amazing. Good luck in life. I believe in you. You're going to amount to so much, blah, 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 blah. Once I sent all those out, I grabbed a shotgun from my stepbrother's house or his room. I walked back downstairs. I went to the backyard. I sat crisscross applesauce. I loaded the shotgun shells. I turned around to make sure before I did that, I thank God. I said, God, thank you for finally giving me a chance to better my life and get rid of all this pain and misery. So then I turned around. I took a practice shot to make sure I had the right size rounds. And then once it went down smoothly, turned back around. I placed the barrel of the shotgun here.
Wow.
I pulled I pulled the trigger. And when I pulled the trigger, I didn't take account for the recoil. So when I pulled it with my right thumb, it shifted to the right. So everything went out the right side of my face versus going straight up through my head. And then when that happened, I got shot. I got flung back. As soon as I got flung back, I immediately knew this was not what I wanted to do. This was a mistake. So I got up, I took 2 steps, and then I fell on my face and I blacked out.
Wow. 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 It's interesting. I have shivers like all over my body right now. Like, wow. And I want to cry.
Uh,
Can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what went through your head the minute you pulled the trigger. I hear that happens a lot with people who try to commit suicide, like people who survive. They wish they never did it.
well, I wouldn't say I wish I didn't did it, because to this day, and probably until I have kids or get married, it will be the best decision I've made in my life. Because if I never did it then, I would continue still being in that depressive, anxiety, miserable state of mind and miserable life in general, that I would never feel better. Since I did it, I've learned to actually deal with my problems and overcome them, heal from them. So now I'm actually living a happier, more healthy, and positive life. So out of all the things I've done in my life, it has been the best and most positive thing in my life.
It's incredible. I look at cancer and I hear some people say, God, I'm so happy I got it, because now look where I am in life. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not happy I got it.
Right?
Like, I wish, yes, what you're saying makes so much sense. Like, you've learned so much. It changed the whole course of your life. And
Literally.
and yes, and it opened your eyes, to things, and taught you things, and you're a stronger, better person since. But it sucks that you had to get there doing
Yeah.
what you did,
Yeah. So I will agree with that. It sucks that I had to go down that route to get to where I'm at now,
Yes.
but I am grateful that I did it in general. But it does suck. That's the way I actually got to this point.
So
I wish there was, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, honey, go.
I wish there was a way I could have either got resources or a better direction to learn how to deal with my issues and heal them, versus just going to an extreme route, which is why I'm so adamant of expressing what I've been through, telling my story, and getting it out there so people who are going through what I went through can avoid doing this, because you don't put a shotgun to their chin and survive that. Some people put a gun to their temple and in their mouth, take pills, cut themselves.
Yeah.
If you cut yourself, I applaud you, because I didn't want to feel my death. So you cut your
Yeah.
but I just want them to avoid taking that extreme measures
Yes.
when there are other avenues to actually get the help you need, so you don't look like this. I don't mind my dent, but not everybody's gonna want a dent on their face, or a hole in their head,
Yeah.
or a hole in their neck.
Turn your head to the side so we could see. Yeah. You're a miracle.
Literally. Walking miracle. Yep.
You really are. I mean, you're right. A shotgun. I shoot guns, and I shoot
Exactly.
crap, and I shoot shotguns, and those things spray. I forget, they spray everywhere. I mean,
Yep. And that's what I used, was a buckshot. So when I did it, it was the pellets going everywhere.
yeah. I mean, and literally, I can't even imagine. I mean, the fact that you survived. So what happened? So after you shot yourself, why did you do it under the chin? Because it was a shotgun. It was easier to handle.
Yeah. I didn't think I had like the arm length to like hold it steady like this.
Okay.
So the easiest thing was just place the butt of the stock against the ground, and the muzzle of the gun in my chin.
I mean, morbid question, just trying to get into your head, to figure out like why you did what you did and the way you did it. And so you collapsed. 2 steps, you collapsed.
Mhm.
And what happened after?
After that, the city workers that were in front of my house. They came running around the backyard because they heard 2 gunshots.
Okay.
And then, luckily, there was one of my neighbors home who also heard them, went to their back porch and saw someone laying on the ground. So either the neighbor or the city workers called 911. And then I woke up 3 weeks later in the hospital. They put me in a medically induced coma. But for those 3 weeks, I thought I was dead. I literally believed that I was in hell for those 3 weeks. And that last day before I woke up, God pulled me out of hell and showed me, because in those 3 weeks I had dreams. I heard nothing, because people say when you're in a coma, you can hear people talk, or you can hear people feel you, or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't hear nothing. I didn't feel nothing. I was literally dreaming those 3 weeks, and they were nightmares.
Wow.
I had to watch myself at like an out-of-body experience, shoot myself numerous times over and over and over again. As the out-of-body experience one was screaming, no, don't do this. This is not really what you want to do. Find another way.
Right.
And that's when God said, you see, you didn't want to do this. I'm giving you another chance. what are you going to do with your life going forward? And then that's when I woke up.
Wow. So 3 weeks. You recall the 3 weeks of being in a coma.
Oh, unfortunately, because when I woke up from the coma, I still had those nightmares replaying sometimes afterwards.
Wow.
But luckily, I don't really get them now.
Wow. So these city workers and the neighbor, they found you. They called 911, I'm assuming, and you were rushed to the hospital. What
Mhm.
kind of, like, did you have surgeries? I mean, how long were you in the hospital? Tell us about that experience.
So they rushed me to the nearest hospital next to my house, which also a funny story. One of the ER nurses was a good friend of mine who I was friends with in high school. She saw me being rolled in on a stretcher, half my face blown off, immediately started bawling.
Yeah.
So I heard that story afterwards. But in the hospital, they had to do 2 skin grafts here to fill in the hole in my cheek. They originally put a plate in my jaw, but since I don't know if you can see it, maybe there's a hole. I wouldn't say a hole, like a patch of skin right here
Yep.
that where my body rejected the metal plate. So
Oh,
they
wow.
had to take the fibula from my leg and put it in my jaw.
Wow.
And then they also had to cut a hole in my head to pick out the rest of the pellets that were still in my head.
How many pellets were in there?
I believe they said 7 to 9, because
Wow.
altogether there were 12 in the round itself. 3 of them obviously shot out, but there were like 7 to 9, or maybe 5 to 9 still in my head they had to pick out.
Wow. Wow. So they had to cut a hole in your head to get them.
Exactly. So from this line here to up here, there's a metal plate now covering that hole.
Wow. And your
And
body
then,
took that metal plate for some reason, rejected.
luckily,
Thank
yeah,
God. Thank God.
exactly. They also had to put 2 lung tubes in my chest, which that was by far the most painful thing I had to deal with, because I wasn't on any pain meds, and they had to stick like a little CO2 canister looking thing in between my ribs.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was so painful.
Wow.
I also had a trachea nearly the entire time I was in it. They had to vacuum out my blood because I had gained blood clots from sitting in a bed for so long without moving.
Right.
So they could, I guess, like the little thing had like a little screen looking thing to get the clot out. And
Yeah.
they put that back in. And they had to do like some spinal taps or something like that to see where the infection, because they didn't know where the infection was coming from before they realized it was the plate they had put in.
Oh, so your body, okay. Wow.
Yeah, because I spent 3 months in the hospital. I went in December 21st on a Monday. I was discharged March 21st on a Monday, literally 3 months later.
Wow.
But I could have been discharged earlier if I had not kept getting the infections. But
Okay.
they took so long for them to find where it was that it prolonged my stay in the hospital.
So you were in the hospital for 3 months. That's a long time. But it seems like not even that long to get all the work that you had done to your face,
Exactly.
your body.
I think most of that work done, I believe, was when I was in a coma. I know I had one last skin graft surgery when I was freshly awakened from the coma. I remember them wheeling me down to it was a very scary area, wheeling me down to that surgery room so they can put that last skin piece in.
Right. Are you done with surgeries now?
Yes. I have to get teeth down here because obviously since I shot, it like disintegrated all the teeth on the bottom side of my mouth.
Okay.
So I got to get implants down here. So that's probably the next surgery coming up. But other than that, I'm done with surgeries.
Okay. Thank God. Thank God.
Exactly. I've had enough of my lifetime. I'm good on surgeries.
Yeah. So during all this time, actually, we're gonna finish this segment in just a second. But when we come back, I would love for you to share. I mean, so you had this medical work done. What about the psychological work? Like, obviously they realize you tried to kill yourself. So
Right.
how are they going to help you so that you don't do it again? So when we come back after this quick little commercial break, and don't go anywhere, Rob.
I'm not going nowhere.
Good. Viewers, don't you go anywhere. And when we come back, you're going to hear more from Rob about that fateful day and how he's recovered, and hear more about his life. So we'll be right back.
Silvermine at Home, a Connecticut-based non-medical home care agency servicing Connecticut and parts of New York. Silvermine caters to their clients' needs while offering peace of mind to their families so their loved one can age in place and live their best life possible. Call today to see how they can make a difference in you or your loved one's life. Our family caring for yours. Visit silvermineathome.com or call 203-228-5007. Do you or a loved one need the care of a nursing home? A vibrant community to call home where there are healthcare professionals available 24/7? Candlewood Valley Health and Rehabilitation, located in New Milford, Connecticut, has been offering award-winning care for over 40 years. Whether you are rehabilitating from a cardiac procedure or hip replacement, or seeking a place for your loved one to live where he or she can receive top-notch health care, our team is at the ready. We also accept veteran benefits and offer a special secure memory care unit for residents with Alzheimer's or cognitive-related conditions. Call us at 860-355-0971. Candlewood Valley Health and Rehabilitation, a place to heal and thrive.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville and Rob Stover. Love it, Rob.
Hello. What up?
Rob, you're awesome. You are just awesome.
I do my best.
So, all right. So back to that question that I had asked, or that I implied I was going to ask before we went to break. So here they are healing you physically, right?
Right.
You're in the hospital 3 months. They saved your life. They remolded your face. They
Literally.
did whatever they had to do. You got pieces missing from your leg to put in your face. You got whatever. So now you're put back, Humpty Dumpty, put back together, right?
Literally. Yes.
That was kind of good, right?
Exactly. It's a nice analogy.
Thank you. What about psychologically? I mean, obviously they realized you tried to commit suicide. So what do they do? What do the doctors do? What do your parents do? What do you do?
I think they did have numerous psychologists come in to, I guess, clear me or say I'm not a suicidal threat. But before they could clear me, I had to first make it known and believe that I wasn't going to do it again. So within those 3 months, I came up with 3 options. A, I'm going to keep trying to kill myself until it actually succeeds. B, I'm going to dwell on me failing until I actually die and just be miserable the rest of my life. Or C, I'm going to turn this into a positive and I'm going to spread my story so I can help save other people's lives or have them avoid what I went through.
Right.
I learned real quickly that I didn't get woken up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning to get poked and prodded for their numbers or whatever they want to call them. So that was quickly out the option, or out of the options. And then B, again, I didn't just go through what I went through and then get poked and prodded every day for 3 months to feel miserable and just hate my life for the rest of my life. Because I was 20 at the time. God knows how long I was gonna wait. I was gonna be alive until I actually died. So I was like, I'm not gonna keep doing this. So my final and best option was gonna go with C, with what I'm doing now, spreading my story, helping others, and just getting out mental illness, or spreading a light on mental illness in general, suicide awareness, and just doing my part to help. I don't want to say save lives, but inform them that suicide is not the only option, and it's not the final option. Suicide is a option, but it's not the option you should be choosing.
Right. So now you realize that. Now let me ask you, do you think you'll ever become suicidal again?
Yes. Now, will I act on it? No. So in the past 7 years, I've had about 6 times where I've thought about doing it. But again, I lead back to, you don't survive a shotgun blast to the chin once, let alone doing it again. If I survived a shotgun to the chin, why would I think I'm going to take a gun to the temple and not survive that? Like I went to the most extreme measures. Why would I downgrade a level and still think I'm going to succeed?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to do that stupid mistake again. So I buckered down. I figured out what my issues were, what I was dealing with, and I actually healed them and got through it versus throwing in the white flag and I'm done with this. Let's try this again.
Right. Right. So do you feel, I mean, listen, I think when people suffer from depression, it's not like just all of a sudden depression goes away. It doesn't. It creeps back in, and everybody deals with, I mean, you may not be suffering from depression, but we all have our ups and downs in life. And it's what we do and how we think during those downs in our lives, right? And I think that this experience probably changed the way you think during those downs.
Exactly.
Yeah, because 6 out of 7 times, and you thought about it again, but you didn't act on it. That's big. That's huge improvement.
But it's like you said it twice, is how you think. My personal belief, depression is not an illness. Depression is a state of mind. If I'm thinking my life is miserable, oh, I'm a failure, oh, I'm not going to amount to anything, oh, I'll never be successful, or, oh, I'm so sad, then my life is going to be all those things, which is 5 of a lot of issues with depression. If I change those thoughts to, oh, I'm happy, oh, I'm blessed I get to wake up and live this life, oh, I'm blessed that I have a house over my head, I have food in the house to eat, I have water to drink, I can still see, smell, and eat and hear things, then my life will be more positive and I'll be more blessed and it'll be more uplifting.
Right.
So it's all about what you focus on, because what you think and what you focus on is what your life becomes. So if I'm thinking in a depressive state of mind or miserable state of mind, then I'm going to become depressed. If I think in a happy state of mind or a positive state of mind, then I'm going to be happier and positive. Now, granted, I'm not going to do this one day and the next day I'm going to be happy. Right. Obviously, it's going to take time and effort and practice over and over and over again to get to that point, that was my biggest issue in the beginning of all of my recovery, was I wanted to be healed and fixed now. But I had to learn that this is going to be a long-term process of doing it over and over and over again to get healthier and to get to where I'm at now.
Yes. Yeah, and you have to put a lot of hard work into it. And it appears that you really have. I mean, you have an amazing attitude in life. I mean, you've done a 360, literally.
Literally, yep.
It was kind of, yeah. You did a 360. And I mean, it's so inspiring. You're so inspiring because you say it like it is. Like, I didn't expect you to say, when I said, do you still have suicidal tendencies and all that? And you said, yeah. Or do you still get depressed? Yeah. You're honest.
It does me no good to lie about that, because that's one of the main issues of sweeping it under the rug.
Yeah.
If I don't hold myself accountable and I avoid I wasn't suicidal, or I wasn't depressed, then I'm not dealing with the issue at hand.
Yes.
I need to notice I was depressed. Oh, I had those suicidal thoughts. Now, what are the reasons that were causing those? And how do I heal and get better at that? Versus, let's say tomorrow, something happens and everything that caused issues then, my depressive issues back then, now pop back up. Because my bottle that I was bottling things up in just exploded.
Right.
So with me being honest and being accountable with myself, it keeps my bottle empty without major issues like that.
Sure. Absolutely. No, you keep, let me ask you, did you utilize any support groups? Do you utilize any support groups?
I went to therapy for 3 years after I first got out of the hospital, mainly because it was an agreement with the hospital of you need to get therapy. Obviously, right. Because I wanted it, obviously. Yeah. But there's also a hospital agreement. We're not going to let you out if you don't agree to go to therapy. Smart move by them, but I personally needed to do it, regardless of what they said.
Yeah.
And then when I moved down to Texas, my current roommate goes to a church here called the CVC, and they have a men's group which deals with like alcoholics, narcotics, mental illnesses, etc. Yeah. I went to that once. It didn't work for me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to people I don't really know. I wouldn't say that. It wasn't really focused on mental illness. It was just like issues in general. And I just personally felt like I was being belittled. Like, oh, you have issues. Yeah. You have issues. Let's fix them. It's not like I know I have issues. I need to fix them, but it was just weird. everyone else that was enjoying it, maybe from what I noticed, it wasn't my thing, honestly.
I gotta agree with you because I went to support groups, or this one support group, when I had breast cancer, and it was great. I went about 3 times, and I realized it's not for me either.
Yeah.
What I personally didn't like, so I could totally understand and relate to what you're saying. What I didn't really like was that everybody was negative, and
Yeah, that's the big thing. Yep.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm negative. I was negative too. I mean, I had cancer, but I think I was looking for something, a place to uplift me rather than and inspire me rather than hearing. And again, it's great for most people, but to hear
Yeah.
other people cry and to people, I mean, I felt horrible for people, but it just brought me down and it kept me down, and
Yeah.
I just needed like, an uplifting experience. And so it was great for a few times. Got a lot out of it. I don't knock it. They're wonderful women over there and men, and and there's one man in the group. But I hear what you're saying. You know what? You tried it though. You went for counseling. You tried
Mhm.
group therapy. Or the support group. And how do you? I mean, like, what about your relationships with your family? What happened with that?
It's weird. There's a lot of like animosity into it. So for me, since I'm the one who had to deal with it firsthand, obviously, because I'm
Yeah,
the one who did it, I had to heal faster or at a more rapid pace.
right,
Them being as parents, since I'm not a parent, I don't have any kids yet, I won't really understand that until I have kids.
right.
They haven't, from my perspective, they haven't healed the trauma that they dealt with seeing their kid try and kill themselves and seeing their kid laid up in the hospital for 3 months.
Right.
Now, I can't blame them for that, but
Right.
I'm also not going to sit back in the past for 7 years ago when I still have a whole life to live and build.
Yes.
So I don't hate them because I love them to death for everything they've done for me, but I'm not going to force them or drag them to where I'm at now. Everyone heals different on their own time,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to wait around for you to heal so we can actually sit down and talk.
Yeah.
And
I
then I still have, I wouldn't say issues. I don't really care for my dad's wife.
Yeah.
Cuckoo.
I love how honest you are.
It's the only way to be, honestly, now.
I agree with you.
I mean, it's not that I don't like her. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like
Okay.
her. But I don't want to put myself around her, like
Yeah.
the support groups. I don't want to be around negative people or negative things in general.
Yeah.
When I'm around her, I just feel negative. I feel drained because now I got to act like I want to be there. I got to act like I want to be around you or talk to you.
Right.
I don't want to do that because then I'm just draining myself and hurting myself.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, it hurts me and my dad because they're married and obviously together. But to help myself and keep myself in a better state of mind, I just gotta not see them.
Yeah.
But now that I'm in Texas, I do talk more with my dad than what I did when I was still living in Virginia.
Which is great. Which is great. What brought you out to Texas?
My best friend and business partner lives out here. So I trade in the foreign exchange market. We invest in cryptos. We run e-commerce stores. We do social media influencing and some other things. And we
Wow.
have a team that we've grown that it's easier to help grow our team and teach our team when we're together so we can bounce off ideas in person versus me being halfway across the country.
You're brilliant.
Exactly. I don't want to work for someone the rest of my life. So I figured out this is a way to getting me multiple streams of income, and I can start doing these more often, and I can write my books, and I can focus on things that I want to do in life and build my own dream versus working at 9 to 5, building up someone else's dream.
I love how you think because I think the same way. I love how you think, but I don't know anything about crypto and it's, maybe you got to help me with the social influencing and this crypto stuff. And
Exactly. Well,
yeah.
this is the right time because crypto is about to take a tank, and then when our recession hits, it's going to skyrocket.
Oh, it is. So it's a good time to get in now.
I'd wait a few more weeks. I think it's going to go a little bit lower, maybe near like the end of spring, summertime, it'll start shooting back up, but it's got some time to fall a little bit.
All right, we're going to talk after the show.
Deal.
Look at this great business opportunity. I'm always looking
Right?
at ways to make extra money, always. So
Yeah.
kudos to you.
Your net worth isn't who you know. It isn't what you know. It's who you know. So it's not your net worth. It's your network. I'm meeting you.
Yeah.
I met you through Bill Stacks.
Yes.
I met William Steele through Bill Stacks. I met you through Bill Stacks and William Steele. It's the connections I'm making is what's helping my net worth grow.
I love it. I love it.
But story for another time.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. No, I love it. That's awesome. Gosh, if you were to give a piece of advice to somebody who's ready to pull the trigger, what would you say?
Stop, take 4 deep breaths, maybe 5 deep breaths, let them out, and ask yourself, is this honestly what I want? Do I want to end my life right here now? For me as a young kid, if I'm talking to a young kid, you still have so much left to live in life. You've only lived maybe a quarter of your life. Your life isn't defined about what you've gone through. It's defined about what you are doing right now. So if you end it right now, for me, my life would have been defined by, oh, he was a 20-year-old kid who just shot himself and killed himself. But if you want to do more for yourself and actually love yourself more, let's focus on what I need to do for you. Let's focus on what you need to do for you to make yourself better. Because my thing is, you're living in your skin, you're dealing with your thoughts. When you go to bed, you're the only one that's hearing what's going on out here. I'm the only one living in my body and hearing my thoughts. So let's make sure I love myself and I can appreciate being in my head, and let's go from there. And that's honestly, that last part goes to everyone per se.
Absolutely.
And then the last part of that would be reach out for help. You might not think someone doesn't want to help you, or you might not think nobody cares about you. You don't have anyone to reach out to. But I promise you, there's at least one person in this world, or that you know, that cares about you, that will be there for you. Maybe they can't give you the answers or the solutions you need, but you might just need to vent and release some of the built up frustrations, depressions, anxieties, so you can survive a few more days to get to the helpful solutions you actually need in life.
Right. Excellent advice. Excellent advice. Rob, I'm so happy you are with us today. I'm so happy you failed.
Same.
Right.
Well, I've learned to say I didn't fail, I succeeded. Maybe I failed at actually dying, but I succeeded at the whole thing in general.
Yeah, you failed at dying, which is a huge success because, you're here with us today. Yeah, you're here with us today, and you're a beautiful person, and I can't begin to thank you enough. Really, I can't begin to thank you enough. I loved you the minute I laid eyes on you. I thought, wow, what an inspiration, and getting to know you and becoming friends with you. I've learned so much about you, and you have my utmost respect.
I appreciate that, and you have my utmost respect too, because you've gone through a lot yourself, and it's not easy dealing with what you've been through and still getting here to this point and still being strong and getting up here on a social media platform and showing yourself and seeing what you've been through. And just because I see your Facebook posts, you're always so vibrant, you're always so positive, and you're a beautiful spirit, and I appreciate that and respect that.
Thank you, Rob. Oh,
yes, ma'am.
Oh, can we keep going? This is great.
Of course.
Well, listen, we're actually at an end. We just finished our last segment. I want to thank you again so much. Tell everybody how they can reach you.
You can find me on Instagram at StoveEasy. You can find me on Facebook at Rob Stover. Or you can find me in San Antonio. Just don't be a weirdo. And if you do need help or you just need an outlet to talk to, my DMs are always open. But I will say, I'm not going to give you attention or pity you. I'm going to listen to what your issues are, and I'm going to I won't give you solutions, but I'm going to give you what I believe or what my understanding is to honestly help you. Because I've learned that some people are just attention seekers.
Yeah.
I am not the one to give you attention. I shot myself. I am here to help you and listen to you. There's a difference. I won't give you attention, but I will listen to you and give you help.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me up here.
Oh, it's an honor. It's an honor to share your story. So, well, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with my final thoughts.
Ooh.
TLC Senior Living Services. TLC's compassionate senior living specialists will assist you and your loved ones as you navigate these next steps in senior living. With years of experience in this industry, they know what to look for, and they know the questions to ask. TLC Senior Living Services will help find the most suitable living situation, will help find additional financial resources, and assist with the entire process. Cindy Seville, owner and founder, treats her clients with TLC. Yes, tender love and care. After working for various assisted living communities, Cindy decided to offer her wealth of knowledge to all seniors and their families. Cindy takes her time with you. She listens to you. She helps take the confusion out of your search and treats each and every client like family. Make TLC Senior Living Services your first call. Find out more at tlcseniorlivingservices.com.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville. I hope you enjoyed the show. Rob Stover is quite an inspiration. What an amazing young man he is. He has a message to deliver. You know, listen, when life seems to be bad, when you're at your lowest, stop, take a minute. His advice, pause. Take that pause. Take 4 or 5 deep breaths. Think about people who love you. Think about you have a purpose in this life, and, you know, don't end it. There's so much in store for you. And you know, once you go through difficult, everybody goes through something difficult in life. Don't let it stop you. You know, grow from it, learn from it. Rob has, you know, he's grown from this, he's learned from this, and he's thrilled to be alive today. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Rob, for sharing your incredible story. And we'll see you next time. Make sure to comment, like, and share the show if you'd like to win a copy of my book. See you soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Live your life like a dreamer. Fly all over the world. Open yourself so the world can see. You're a beautiful pearl. Live your day like you mean it. And don't forget who you are. You're free to go